martial law.
Yeah.
And we were not under martial law, though. There's still civilian camp.
Okay.
In fact, the West Coast was never declared a martial law. Hawaii was, so that's why Hawaii fared better than us, because the general there wanted the Japanese to be treated fairly, and but they needed them because there was no workers in Hawaii if you evacuate all the Japanese out of there.
Yeah, basically.
So Hawaii was practically half Japanese.
Exactly.
Or Japanese descent.
I have a question. So back to the whole filling out the loyalty forms. So when most people filled it out, was it like in a family they would just do what their other family members did? Like it was like their father told them, "Well, I'm doing this, and you should as well," or?
Well, that loyalty questionnaire was just a terrible thing that tore apart the family completely. In fact, if they found out that you went yes, you're going to get beat up. So you have to keep it quiet. Those that try to influence the people to go, no. If you have to be careful when you turn in the questionnaire to make sure that it stays secured, because they're called inu, meaning dog. That you don't get beat up. And some of the people got beat up real bad. So it was not a healthy thing that the government did. And this document again with some of these other
other accounts.
I got stacks of book. I don't know why I read these things, but then but it's more because again there's a parallel as to what happened to us in Salinas to what happened in Washington, state of Washington, Oregon. Oregon was really bad. This I don't know if you heard about Min Yasui. He's one of the protesters that you find his picture in the museum, the Japanese American Museum. He's one of the main protesters, and he's one of the ones that pushed for the redress for the. He was considered a rabble rouser, and they wanted to imprison him. They sent him to prison. But then he kept on fighting for justice. And finally, before even when it was high Supreme Court would not listen to his argument. So finally, when they did justify his action, he already died. So that's Min Yasui.
But he started all, basically. Wow.
And most of us were Buddhists, back in still live Buddhists. The Christian family seemed like they would have fared better, but they did not. Although the Christian ministers, they were out there lobbying for their flock. But then they didn't do much better, but they were a little bit better. That when they were interned, like my dad was, they were able to release them a little earlier. What happened to my dad?
Based on religion.
Because the fact is, this is a Christian country.
Yeah, exactly.
The religion should have nothing to do with it. After all, it is religious freedom.
But it happens. Yeah. That's really good to know.
I guess we can ask that, when you guys were released from your internment camp, what did your family do? Did you guys have money saved, or what did you do about housing afterwards?
Yeah, of course, my dad owned a little property out in Salinas. It was right in the outskirts of Salinas City, so the property was valuable in a way. So he was able to release that and have some funds and he opened a store in San Jose. But he was a broken man. He didn't want to farm anymore. He was a very successful farmer
Yeah.
and a salary distributor. But he started a store. He was no merchant. But then that's what he tried to do. And he could not depend on his son. Irrational kid. So, but he did run the store. And he and my mother. And that couple was really devoted to each other. She was 15 when she married him.
Oh, wow.
And my dad was not 21, or so he should have been 21, the U.S. law. But then in 1924, when the immigration law was passed against all Asians, they were not going to allow any more immigration from Japan, or from the Philippines, or from China. So then the single men, as my dad, had to go back and find a wife, find a bride. It was all arranged, of course, that but then it happened that this young lady, the folks told them that the family knew each other, of course.
Yeah, okay.
So then, I don't know why she agreed to come, but then she is 15 years old.
Yeah, 15, that's very young.
But she's well educated. That family was very well educated. That's why it's a real mystery to me why she came. But she's completely literate. They were going to the girls' school in, about 50 miles away from her home. They traveled by train, go to the girls' school, all the sisters. And so she was a very well educated young lady.
Where was she from?
From out by Fujiyama. It's called Kanagawa-ken.
Okay.
It's outskirts of Tokyo.
Okay. Okay.
So it's a little village outside of that area.
Wow.
And the Ichikawa family, they're still further up from there, but they were real poor farmers. But my mom was from a very, not wealthy, but a real well-to-do family. And they were able to send their daughters over to girls' school in Odawara. And Odawara was a major city even then. So, but anyway, so she agreed to come to U.S. And we call it a trunk, but these for these warriors to travel. While in Japan they used bamboo basket, large baskets. That's all she had. So that's where she stole all her clothes, and that's how she came. And the way they travel, the Japanese immigrants, the way they travel, they're in the third class, and we're in the bottom of the boat. So the poor lady has to get seasick, of course.
Yeah. Wow. So, like, a lot of family documentation was lost, right? Either, like you were talking about, like, burning of photos, or, like, anything that was Japanese.
Some of the things I got saved, let's see, I wonder if I got it here. This is the posting. I had the passports and things like that. I guess I did not bring those.
Okay, yeah, we'll look over those after.
Those documents still, some were still saved, so I was able to find those.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, did you, after you guys were released from internment camps, did your family, or anyone you know, try to get any reparations for your family having to go through all of that?
Going through which?
Like, did your family try to get any reparations from the government?
Oh, yes. Of course, my dad lost all his business, everything, so then he filed for, I guess, including typewriter and all the equipment that he had lost. I guess he filed for around 10,000 or more. But then, yes, they did reimburse him. I don't know, but it was about something like 2,000.
Okay, yeah. So a lot of stuff was lost, money, land, property.
And there's attorney Wayne Collins, I guess, is the attorney that fought for the Japanese immigrants, and he's one of the material person that was able to help people like my dad file for reimbursement of lost property.
Mhm. So have you ever like gone back and visited the camps now? Like I know you could visit Tule Lake and Manzanar.
No, I never went to my Yoshiko, my wife. Yeah, she was in Tule Lake, but then
she didn't want to come. I know she didn't.
she didn't want to go back there, and I didn't want to go back to Poston. So although there was had quite a few reunions, and there was one reunion in Poston itself. My cousin went, and she sent me the documents. It's this.
Oh, wow.
And we also had yearbooks called the L. Chaparral, and I cannot find it. I don't know what happened to it. And then, so they document all these things. I don't know who took these photographs for a yearbook, but that's most of these photographs that's in there are from the yearbook, 1944 yearbook. So 1944, I was already out of, when this school year ended, I was already out of camp. I was in Preston, Idaho.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I was in October 25, 44 is when I went to Preston, Idaho.
Yeah. Wow. That's cool.
Since you had to go through school in the camps, were you like on track still when you left the camp first with school?
Well, like I said, we had our school system. It was all set up for like exposed to Latin 1 of all things.
Wow.
I used to
That's
enjoy
important. There's a lot, yeah.
And German, I never took German class, but then we had this foreign language class, but mine was Latin. The science course, we didn't have too many equipment, as you might guess. And then when I went to Preston, Idaho, which went to chemistry class, and they had the Bunsen burners and thing. I didn't know what to do with those things. But then we did what we could out of the book, and things that's supposed to happen when you burn oxygen, this happens, you know. But I have to guess at it because it's in the book.
Yeah.
But in Preston, you stick a match into the oxygen tank, it'll twist.
So did you continue school after you got out?
Did I?
Continue school? Your schooling?
Oh, yes. In fact, I'm a state college graduate.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Cool.
And of all things, I'm a psych major. You know, Japanese all stereotypes go to math and science. I was a social student, and social science was my thing, and but I never could understand social feel-good kind of things, and that wasn't me at all.
Yeah. So when you went back to school, was there a division between like the?
Actually, you're talking about if I went from camp to
school?
To outside school, is that what you would mean?
Yeah.
Because there was never a gap, because I was 4-year high school and I graduated from the 4th year.
Yeah.
So, but there was a considerable amount of difference because of the type of equipment that we were using. Most of the Japanese American my age, very poor in English. I don't know why most of the Japanese girls, they're English teachers. Really strange. My cousin, the second cousin, she's an English teacher in Gun High School.
Oh.
UCLA graduate. But then also among my own age, there's quite a few English teachers. So, but we're all in junior college. I'm into bonehead English. I tell you, it was awful.
Yeah. Was there like a division when you went back to school? Like when you guys got out, and did people just pretty much accept? Japanese American.
It's funny because we relocated